think that one thing that would be valuable while you're working on these asynchronously is to, put the same sorts of blue boxes at the bottom describing the next steps and the completed items. So as folks are handing it off, it can be a seamless handoff.
Yeah.
no, it's just what can cross the boundary. Like integers and IEEE floating points, as far as I know, in both 32-bit and 64-bit versions of those, right?
Maybe
Maybe.
Jordan knows more
Yeah,
about
I
it.
was just
Yeah, yeah.
Jordan.
So, WebAssembly doesn't support. I don't believe doesn't support floating points across the boundary. It's only integers across the boundary. But like in the bytecode specification, it does support a wide range of base types, like floating points and like signed and unsigned. But that's a superset of what's supported across the boundary. It's only integers across the boundary, as far as I understand.
Okay, okay.
What about something like
Yeah,
this?
just would like to mention that I have used like floating points in Wasm while using it with Wasmer. So maybe I don't know, is it something Wasmer has done on top of WebAssembly standard? But yeah, I was able to
Yeah,
use
yeah,
floating point.
yeah, yeah. So, oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, I was just gonna say that yeah, Wasmer has implemented their own data marshaling. Like through using things like Wasm bindgen and stuff like that. And so I think that that's why. I can try and find exactly where in the specification it talks about marshaling over the boundary and the supported types.
If you could link that at one point when you remember, I'd be very happy.
Yeah, isn't that too verbose?
I'd remove the it is needed right now because we already explain it up there, but the rest seems fine to me. I don't know. Do we want to leave stuff to the imagination?
It ain't a novel.
I don't know. I like being overly verbose, so I'm okay with a little bit of verbosity here.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like we are then explaining that why we are doing serializers and deserializers. I'm not sure.
Oh, I mean, it is a bit verbose because of this part, but I cannot think of anything better at this moment in time while I'm on the call. So I can come up with something afterwards, or someone else can, or anything. It's hard to think while talking.
Yeah, no worries. I think yeah, we have like initial feedback, and after this we can have final feedback session.
Yeah. Is there any other feedback that anyone had?
No.
Okay. Awesome. I'd say then we can work a bit more on it, and then it's ready for final feedback. Do we have anything else on the agenda? Joe? Is there anything else on the agenda? We
No, that's-
passed through the first feedback.
Yeah, that's all I had for today. So if we've completed everything, then please work asynchronously on the tasks that we discussed, and we can, pick up next week with reviewing the results of the asynchronous work.
Awesome. Do we have like a process for submitting pull requests for the standards and features, like we discussed? I mean, I know there's a GitHub with these things. I'm not sure how that looks like.
Yeah, I would need to talk with Eugene about how he publishes the requests based on the votes. But once we're ready for a vote, we can work through the publishing process. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but this is more like during the async workshops, it's a lot easier to work through pull requests. You can even have reviews through pull requests, commits from or other pull requests for people that aren't assigned to this issue if they have fixes or anything else.
So instead of
It
working
just
in
seems like
HackMD,
yeah, people can still draft things in HackMD, but just using the branch and pull request features of GitHub seems like a great way to collaborate on these things.
yeah, I would agree. So let me share my screen again. Okay. So we do have everything, in the technical console here. I mean, originally I thought, before we started using HackMD, I had thought that we would use these documents here and, set up pull requests against these files, right, to update them. So is that what you're thinking?
Which files? That's just an issue, right?
Yeah, these are issues.
Yeah, we would need actual files for that. I mean, we do have a GitHub folder, so like a GitHub project for, I think there's a README, there's ops reports, meetings, docs. We could have like drafts for features and standards, maybe, or actual features and standards inside of it. I know there's a place where Eugene publishes
Yeah,
these,
let me
but
go
I'm not
back.
sure where's that.
It's all the way back here.
Yeah, it is in
That's here.
standard.
Right. Within this.
No, I think it is. It isn't here. I think it's outside here. There is Polywrap/standards report, something like that.
Well, I think that's for the approved standards, right? I don't
Yeah,
think.
but we can also. Yeah, that's the point, right? We can have PR up, and once everything is approved, we can.
Yeah, for example, like working on, let's say, data translation, you could create a data translation branch and work on that. Create PRs into that branch, and when you finish, create a PR into the main standards branch.
Okay.
Yeah, it's above specification.
Specifications, right?
Well, yeah.
Just search for standards.
No, you can just search specification. It's called specification.
This one here.
Oh, specification. Okay.
Yeah.
So you would like
Yeah,
to create
yeah,
the files in here and
Standard.
then create pull requests against them?
Yeah, just branch out of main and create a new file for the standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not sure what to do about features. We don't have anything for that.
Yeah, we don't have the same thing for features, but I think that'll work fine for this.
There is this spec folder. Can we use that?
We could also use like a features folder since there is a standard folder.
Yeah. Yeah, we can just create a feature folder.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. We can do that async when we work those.
And then next week I'll look in here for the pull request that we'll be reviewing as part of the meeting, right?
Yep.
All right. All right. Anything else for today?
Just a quick thing. I think that I was completely wrong. I think that all integer types and also floating point types that WebAssembly supports can be passed across the boundary. So yeah, it's unsigned, 32, signed 32, 64, and then also float 32 and 64.
Does the 64 apply to systems that are 32-bit?
It's a good question. I believe so, yeah, because WebAssembly runs in a virtual machine, and so you can implement 64-bit operations on a 32-bit machine. It's just
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, then it might even make sense for us to switch to 64-bit. 32 in too long, especially for arguments when are serialized.
Maybe. Yep. Yeah, I'll do a little more research because I haven't found exactly where it says this in the spec. I've just found references online. So yeah.
Okay, cool. I think we're done for today.
All right. Great, everybody. Thanks for your time, and I look forward to speaking again next Wednesday.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
See you guys.